Okay, welcome back everyone. So this afternoon we have lovely Mr. Cameron who will be explaining this example to us. And I'm just gonna hand him remote control over the computer now, a little bit about what do given remote control is. It means that when I do this, he will be able to use his computer to access the screen and he will be able to control my screen. Right? So what's happening now is Cameron is actually going to be taking over the class and he's going to be teaching us this particular example and what we have to do. So Cameron, I'm going to actually mute my mic first before I give you control, and then I'm going to
Officially launched on Monday.
Okay. So Cameron, I'm gonna need you to send a request to me to take over the computer. So send me a request. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, you're gonna see screen sharing and remote control. Just click on remote control and I should be able to get the request from you. Cameron?
When a person is not doing nothing, am I just tell you the steps to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, should I tell you the steps?
Yeah, you could do that.
Alright,
Okay.
well,
Hold on.
for
Just a minute. Right, go ahead.
4/5 minus a quarter, that is equal to 16 over 20 minus 5 over 20.
Go
Because
slowly. Remember, I'm talking, and remember, you have to teach as well. So 4/5 minus a quarter is equal to
16 over 20 minus 5 over 20.
right. So 16 over 20
Minus
right,
5 over 20.
minus 5
5
over
over 20.
20. Great. What's next?
And well, let us work it out from there. It should be the 16 minus 5 for the top, which will give you 11 over 20.
So it will give you 11
over 20.
over 20. So you mind just going through a bit again, how you was able to get this answer?
Yeah, just cross multiply.
You just cross multiply.
Yeah. So you multiply the 5 by the 4 and the 4 by the 5 to get the 20 as the denominator.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the same for the top.
Okay, great. Kimoy, did you get this answer?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so this was a fairly easy exercise to do. You will be getting more in terms of practice. And what I'm actually going to be moving on to now is that we are going to move on to multiplication of fractions. So I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to make the window smaller once again. And we're going to move on to multiplication of fractions, okay? Okay, so for any fraction, when it takes on the form A over B, what we are really saying is that the numerator, which is A, is being divided by the denominator, which is B. So a half will be 1 divided by 2. Therefore, we can say that multiplying by a half is the same as by multiplying by 1 and dividing by 2. Now let's take a look at the example below. This 3 here, this 3 can be counted as 3 over 1. So it's going to become 3 multiplied by 1. And because the 1 here is understood, it's just going to remain with the denominators 2. Now, at this point in time, what we have is an improper fraction, 3 over 2. And to be able to find our final answer, we must reduce it to its lowest form into a mixed number. So we get 1.5. Now down here we have two fractions with separate denominators. And there is something I want you to note. When multiplying or dividing fractions, it does not need to have the same denominator. It is only when adding and subtracting we need to have the same denominator. So here, what we simply do, we simply multiply as usual. So 3 multiplied by 1, 7 multiplied by 2, and this gives us 3 over 14. Now, because 3 over 14 is the lowest term that we have, we cannot reduce it further. This will be the final answer. Any questions?
Miss, you could just go over or you change the mixed number to the fraction.
Yes, I can. I'll actually go back to the slide where we have that. Right? I believe it's here. Right. So where we convert a improper fraction to a mixed number. So this improper fraction here, we have 19 over 8. And we want to convert this to a mixed number. The first thing we must do is divide the numerator by the denominator. So it's going to be 19 divided by 8, which will give us 2. This means we get 2 whole parts when we divide 19 into 8 parts, right? Step 2, we must multiply the amount of the whole parts that we get with the denominator, right? So in this case, from before we got 2, we're gonna multiply 8 by 2, which gives us 16, right? So one other way to look at it is, it's gonna be 8 over 8 multiplied by 2 over 1, which really and truly gives us 16 over 8. And this will allow us to know how much whole parts we have within this, how much eights we could find within 2 wholes. That is basically what this is doing. Step 3, we are going to subtract our answer from step 2, which is the 16 over 8 from the numerator of the improper fraction. So in this case, a simple way to look at it is 19 subtract 16, which is 19 over 8, subtract 16 over 8, which will give us 3. And this is dealing with only the numerators. So this in turn gives us 3 over 8. Remember in step 1, we was trying to figure out how much whole parts we have when it comes to the numerator. So this 3 gives us the numerator for the remaining parts that is part of the third whole, but is missing some. So this gives you the numerator of the remaining part of the improper fraction. So you get 3 over 8 to get a proper fraction. And in step 4, we combine the whole number that we got from step 1, which is this 2, and the proper fraction from step 3, which is 3/8, to get your final answer in the form of a mixed number. So 19 over 8 is simply 2 wholes divided into 8 plus 3 parts of a whole that was divided into 8. So it's 2 and 3/8. Any questions, Cameron?
No, miss.
Okay. So that is how here we are able to convert three halves into 1.5. Understand now? Okay. Kimoy, you have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Say that's basically multiplying the number back in the improper fraction to get back the, mixed number to the improper fraction, that's multiplying the bottom number by the number on the side and just adding it up.
Exactly. Let me just go through that a little bit again for you. Just for clarification, you are correct?
I understand.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, great. Okay. So I actually have some examples for you to try. All right. And I'm just gonna change this. So this is now gonna become 3/4 multiplied by 5/7. Ignore this. Actually, we'll bring this down. Bring this here. 0. So we're gonna leave this here as is when we come into correct. And then the next one we're gonna have is 5/9 multiplied by 4/11 equals. Right? So this is your practice question for this section. You have 10 minutes to complete both of them. You have 10 minutes. Now it's 7:38. So 7:48. And then we'll do corrections, and that will be all for class. I will send you some more practice questions as homework. Kimoy, after class, just stay logged in, please, my dear. And that's it. So you have 10 minutes to do these practice questions. At 3:48, I'm just gonna do the corrections and then wrap up class. So continue. 5 minutes again, guys. Okay, everyone. So I just saw that we have 10 minutes remaining. And what I want to do is I want to find out how far along you are in finishing the questions. So if I can correct it and wrap up class, we won't have to log back on. So just let me know how far you are along.
Miss Anya, you finished.
You finished the first one already, Kimoy?
Something similar.
All right, what about you, Cameron?
I finished, miss.
All right, then, good. So I'll start writing down the answer and then afterwards explain. Okay, everyone, can you see the answers on the board now? Hello?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so let me just run through this quickly. With multiplication of fractions, you don't ever have to worry about the denominators. You multiply the numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. 3 multiplied by 15 is 15. 4 multiplied by 7 is 28. Now, when you look at this one, you get 5 over 9 multiplied by 4 over 4. This 4 over 4 is the same as saying 1. So even though I did the work in, your answer, your final answer with your fraction reduced to its lowest form will be 5 over 9. So you get 5 multiplied by 4 will give you 20. 9 multiplied by 4 will give you 26. And then when you reduce this fraction, you get 5 over 9 because it's the same as multiplying by 1. Do you understand? Does anybody have any questions concerning this?
No, miss. I got it correct. I got the both of them correct.
All right, then. Cameron, you're good with this, right?
Yes, miss.
All right, so I will send you some practice again, and I will also send you back the homework I sent on Tuesday. Please complete it for next week, Tuesday. We are going to be going on to next week, Tuesday. We're going to be doing the division of fractions, right? So we're going to do some more examples where it pertains to multiplying mixed numbers. And then we're going to do division of fractions. And we're going to do mixed operations. So not just, we're going to mix, we're going to have the whole thing: addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication when it comes to, so that will be for next week, Tuesday's class. And then next week, Thursday's class, we are going to be looking at decimals. We are definitely going to be starting decimals next week, Tuesday. So class, that's it for this afternoon. Please look out for the email and let me know when you receive the email. If you have not received the email, also let me know. It should be in your inbox by 8:30 because as soon as class is over, I'm going to be sending it to you. If you did any questions that you find is giving you any trouble between now and next week, Tuesday, do not wait until next week, Tuesday at class to tell me, Miss, I didn't understand. Send me the question immediately so that I can know what question is giving you problems. And I will send you the results. I will send you the solution. And if you still do not understand, we will address it in class. I want to leave class for mostly teaching. So when I teach, I give you practice, you practice it. I will be sending the solutions to the homework in the email. So you have the questions, you have the solutions. When you're done practicing, look at the solutions, see where you went wrong. If you still have difficulties understanding, send me a WhatsApp message. You have access to me. Send me a WhatsApp message with a screenshot of the question you're having difficulties with, a screenshot of what you did as your answer, and I will get the correct thing to you and address it in class if we cannot solve it outside of class. Is that understood?
Yes, miss.
Apparently Cameron left already. Okay, thanks, Kimoy. And that's it for class this afternoon. Have a good day, class.